I still remember, I'm in a room with 70 guys at training camp, and he stands up and he starts talking about fitness testing. He said our first rounder was our worst prepared player at camp.
Said that in front of everybody?
Everybody.
Yeah.
So I sat there.
Because that's how we did it in those days, though,
Yeah,
right?
I sat there. I sat there and I was like, did he just really say that?
Yeah.
Clearing the crease. Oh, clearing the crease. Hey, hey,
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Clearing the Crease podcast powered by Ozone. And I'm James Cybulski alongside the Calder Trophy winner, Andrew Raycroft. We got Kami in the house, your favorite Stanley Cup winner, with all due respect. Although today you might be the second favorite Stanley Cup winner. There is no question about this.
I'm lucky to be second. There's no question. I am second.
We got an absolute rock star here in the house today. And also, like, maybe the rock of professional hockey, Gary Roberts. Man, Stanley Cups, you've kind of seen it, done it all. Thanks so much for doing this. Really appreciate this.
No, you're welcome. Nice to be here.
I want to start in Ottawa because as a kid who grew up in Ottawa and going to 67s games, there you were winning Memorial Cups in 1984. But when I started in the media business as a kid, going to college, I covered the 67s.
Right.
And Brian Kilray was the general manager, and Brian is in his 90s now and still alive. Hi, Killer.
Yeah.
But you also went to the school of Brian Kilray as well. Like, what was that experience like? I mean, it was still cigars
challenging
and
my
darts.
memory. That was 1 years ago or something? But
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty fresh. Like, we had our reunion last year. So I organized a Wooden Sticks 40-year reunion for the Ottawa 67s. So for our Memorial Cup team.
Darren Pang was part of that.
Darren Pang, Bruce Cassidy. Bruce wasn't able to be there because he was in playoffs.
Yeah.
And we had an amazing time. And Brian Kilray, like, we were all amazed. He was 90. I think he's 90.
And still sharp as a tack.
Just turned 90, sharp as a tack, was still, like, at midnight, I'm falling asleep in my chair, and he's still running the room. And still telling stories, and his memory was amazing. I mean, you know, certain people that had an impact on my life. My dad, and then I'd probably go to Brian Kilray.
Wow.
Yeah. As a 16-year-old leaving home, going to Ottawa, not getting off to the best start in Ottawa. Like, I had 2 fights in high school in the first month.
Okay.
And it was not good, right? And he
Are
almost
you
said,
instigating those at the
no, I promise. I do
at
promise.
The high school? Like,
at the high school.
Okay,
I was a 16-year-old, 16-year-old going to Ottawa, and for every reason got in an argument with a student in the class, and the teacher, he wanted to shut the door or shut the window or something, and it was too cold in the room or whatever. And I'm like, whatever, like, you know. So he got pissed off at me for not shutting the window and took a swing at me, and then the teacher got involved. And then he shoved the teacher, and then as soon as he shoved the teacher, I guess that was my free pass to drill him. And so anyway, that's how
you're 16 as this is all
I'm
happening.
16, my first year playing junior hockey. So the principal, they pulled me down. I walked through the lobby. I still remember seeing my teammates, right? I'm the youngest guy on the team.
Yeah.
And I got blood on my shirt, and I'm going to the principal's office, and I remember getting to the rink that day, and Brian Kilray brought me in, and he reamed me. And he said, hey, like, you're going home. We don't put up with this.
Sure.
I remember crying, just sitting there crying, saying, Killer, like, listen, I didn't, you know, if anything, I was defending the teacher kind of thing. And he looked at me and he said, okay, don't let it happen again. And he let me off the hook, right? And I think the teacher basically called and said, hey, this wasn't Gary's deal, this was the other guy. So they saved me, right? Mr. Tobin, I still remember his name. There's certain things, I think there's certain things in your career that you kind of, you're like, I remember that guy. Like, he saved me. If he didn't say that, maybe I'm not sitting here today.
It's crazy.
You know, I could have got sent home. But that's the decisions you make when you're young, right? Yeah. But so anyways, about 2 weeks later, his friend took a run at me in the hallway by the lockers.
I was just about to say what happened in the second fight. So 2 weeks later, the guy's buddy
came after me.
I would imagine he learned a lesson.
Well, at least that wasn't good.
That wasn't good either.
No.
So I was back in Brian Kilray's office. So then I'm back in Brian Kilray's office, and now he's all over me.
Right.
And then once again, I was very fortunate. The principal, Tommy Ray, I still remember him, and Mr. Tobin, they went to bat for me and saved my junior career, basically. So I was that close to being sent home my first year in junior hockey. Brian yelled at me on a regular basis One day I remember saying to him, Killer, like, why are you always yelling at me? And he says, kid, when I stop yelling at you, that's when you'll know I've given up on you. It was like, okay.
Yeah, yelling at you because I like you.
Yeah, and you're 16. It's like, hey, even 16-year-olds today that go to junior hockey, I see it. I was having 2 boys go through it. You want to fit in. You want to be at the party. You want to be playing cards. You want to be everywhere. I remember Killer saying to me, like, this is your draft year, my second year. I'm calling you every night for curfew.
Wow.
And if you're not in, you're going home.
Yeah.
And he said, you got a chance to be a player.
Yeah.
But he said, if you hang out with the 20-year-olds and try and play cards and drink beer and smoke cigarettes, you're probably not playing hockey. Yeah. So anyways, what my whole point to that about Killer is he had a huge impact on my career.
He taught respect, right?
He taught respect.
Like I shared,
a different way than you teach it today.
But he did it.
But I mean, for me, it worked. I knew, like, if I crossed the line, he called me on it.
I told a story years back to when I was doing the public address announcing for Holmes games for the 67s. This is like 97-ish. And I may have told the story before on the podcast, so sorry. But Ottawa was blowing out Oshawa one night. It was like a 7-2 game for a matinee game. They have a crowd of about 7,000 in there. 50-50 winner, randomly enough, guys from Oshawa who wins. So here I am being 22 years old and cheeky going, well, you won't believe it, everybody, but Andrew Raycroft from Oshawa is today's 50-50 winner. So 7,000 fans in Ottawa, boo, right? And then I follow up on the microphone thinking I'm all cheeky. Well, they got to win something today, right? And a lot of laughter, right? Yeah. Well, I get down to the room afterwards, and Brian Campbell and Nick Boynton were still playing with the 67s at that time. They're walking out of the room as I go collect my $40 that I would get for working this public address. They're like, hey, did Killer see you yet? I'm like, no, why? And they're like, oh, he's pissed. See ya. And off he goes. Like, wow, was he talking? I came around the corner and Killer's holding court with the media doing his post-game scrum, and he lights me up. Like, he sees me and he's like, shut the fuck up. You are a fucking idiot. They already want to kick our ass bad enough. Shut the fuck up. And I'm like, oh my God, and he's yelling at me in front of that. Basically, that wasn't funny. Like, you don't need to provide any more motivation.
Yeah.
Kind of lit me up. And then as we kind of got into his room with Bert and and Tank and all those guys, and handed me a beer and kind of smirked and kind of yes, it was funny, but kind of just look, be respectful, right? And just kind of taught me a very valuable lesson, as only he could, right? But lit me up, gave me my lecture, but then also kind of gave me the wink and the nod that, okay, yes, it was funny, but time and a place.
Football never swears. You can tell that stuck with him.
We're all scarred. We're all scarred with certain stories for sure. But I mean, I could sit here all day and tell Brian Kilray stories, and we did that night at Wooden Sticks last May. We had an amazing time.
Yeah, that's great. That must be.
I want to go to Calgary but we found a weird hack on your stats. You got 7 American League games in the middle of junior. You got 4 seasons of junior, and all of a sudden you got 2 games in your second year in junior. You got 7 games at Moncton.
So we didn't make the playoffs in Ottawa my 3rd year.
Okay.
And so I went from Ottawa to Moncton to play 7 American Hockey League games.
And you were dominated.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I was 18, but I was also scared to death because we were playing Freddie Beach, or we were playing Halifax. I mean, Freddie was going to Freddie. He got Gord Donnelly on the other side, and Jimmy Mann.
Yeah, sure.
I remember I ran him Jimmy Mann my first game. I had no idea who Jimmy Mann was.
Right.
All of a sudden,
and you were 17, 18,
18,
right?
That's my first year pro after
you got drafted.
First after being drafted. I remember Jimmy Mann chasing me around the ice. Everybody's going, he's a lefty. Be careful. He's a lefty. I'm like, oh, whatever. Jimmy Mann threatening my life. But I was just young and okay, hey, listen, we all find a way, right? You got to find a way to make it. Yeah. Brian Kilray saying, I knew what he meant. And he never told me to fight, but I knew what he meant. So I kind of fought my way into junior hockey and started to score, and then I kind of fought my way into pro hockey and started to score.
As well.
I was fortunate I was prepared to do a job that some weren't. So it gave me the opportunity to play with better players.
Yeah.
And then it made me a better player.
Yeah.
It's kind of as
400
simple as
some
that.
goals, yeah.
So you got to find a way to, okay, how am I going to survive every night that I'm not a healthy scratch?
Yeah.
That was my thing when I went into the games. Okay, middle of the second period, if I haven't done anything, I'm like, shit, I better do something.
Yeah.
Or that when the coaches are in there, game's over, and the coach is like, hey, how was he tonight? And everyone's like, man, didn't notice him.
Yeah.
And then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Then you begin on that side of it. So I always had that. I got some lessons early in my career that kind of taught me that not to take anything for granted and be ready to play every chance you get.
Yeah. Let's take you out west, out to Calgary. We chatted there a couple of times, and you guys got a great group, the 89 Cup team, obviously.
What a
It
team.
seems like you guys are tight.
Yeah.
I guess first off, had you been out to Calgary much before?
No, I try to go. I'd like to go to Calgary. I have wonderful friends still in Calgary. Keep in touch with them, and I would always try to go to Calgary, whether it was a Gordie Howe Alzheimer's event. I always tried to go every May. I've built some gyms for my buddies in Calgary, so whenever I go, I got a free room near the gym in their basement.
Yeah.
So I try to make a point of going back.
Yeah. What about when you were young? I mean,
did you know it?
before
Yeah.
you started playing for, when you went out there, was that your first time kind of out
First
west?
time ever. That's
Okay.
why I
Yeah,
failed
that's what I was
That's
trying
why
to-
I failed all the fitness tests.
Okay.
I was a lacrosse player.
Right.
Lacrosse player. Lacrosse. You're tough as nails. You play lacrosse.
Yeah.
I protected Joe Newnick all summer.
Yeah.
So I had my fighting was good, well in tune because I was taking care of him playing lacrosse. I always tell him that I take care of him. But I get to Calgary, and I'm like, 2 mile run. I'm gonna bury this thing. I could run long distance.
Yeah.
And I had asthma my whole life. I've had asthma my whole life. So I use inhalers, but I only used them in Ontario when I needed them.
Yeah.
Whenever I got a cold, I'd start using my inhalers. Got to Calgary, and I had an asthma attack during the 2 mile run. So I'm a first round draft pick, 12th overall, going to Calgary.
Yeah.
The altitude just fried me. I'd never been to Calgary.
Yeah.
So here I am. I literally don't finish the run. And Badger Bob was a fitness guy, way ahead of his time.
Yeah.
And our players were way ahead of their time back then. We had a bunch of college guys that had played 3-4 years of college, and they were weightlifting at college back then. Junior hockey players weren't weightlifting.
Sure.
And I got a really rude awakening of how far away I was from being an NHL hockey player.
Yeah.
And Badger Bob, I still remember, I'm in a room with 70 guys at training camp, and he stands up and he starts talking about fitness testing. He said our first rounder was our worst prepared player at camp.
Said that in front of everybody?
Everybody.
Yeah.
So I sat there.
Because that's how we did it in those days, though, right? You called people out
I
publicly.
sat there and I was like, did he just really say that?
Yeah.
And I always tell the story all the time, but if you could have beamed me up at any time in my career, that would have been it to get me out of that room. I couldn't get out of Calgary fast enough.
Yeah.
My first NHL training camp. So when I left that, I went back to Ottawa. We had a strength coach in Ottawa named him Lauren Goldenberg.
Yeah.
And I started working with Lauren. I spent my whole summer in Ottawa next year. And I said it's never going to happen to me again. I'll never fail fitness testing again. So I'm probably sitting here today. That's another lesson I learned early in my career. I wasn't prepared to play, got embarrassed badly, and made a decision. I either quit or get in better shape.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the start of me finding my way. And it's just another experience that you go through that you either turn left or turn right. And fortunately, I turned the right way.